Hello everybody and welcome to African Savannah Zoo Part 2. So we pick up where we left off from the previous part. And essentially, yeah, we've got zoo rating of 89, which is higher than the 75 that it needs to be. Guest happiness needs to be 93, it's currently 97. Animal happiness needs to be 93, it's currently 95. Which is low, but that's only because we recently adopted the wild dogs who currently have a very, very unsuitable exhibit. And once that exhibit is built up, then animal happiness will go back up to like 98, so that shouldn't be a problem. We need 20 animals from the Savannah in Africa, and I'm basically only exhibiting animals from the Savannah in Africa at this point. And we also need an exhibit suitability rating of 80 for 13 exhibits, the wild dog exhibit being the 13th exhibit, so basically we just need to get that to 80 and then keep animal happiness above 93 and guest happiness above 93, and we're basically done. And I made a mistake actually last time because I was rushed. We actually have 10 months, not 9 months left. So anyway, with that in mind, we will need this zookeeper to look after the flamingo and the wild dog. Yeah, and then need to build up the wild dog exhibit itself. So there's lots of terrain demands, lots of different demands and stuff. They want baobabs, but I'm thinking I can probably get away with not using baobabs. Just going to quickly set the game. So, with regards to terrain, whoops, they want sand, dirt, and fresh water. That's fine. The fact that the aviary keeps making noise means that people are going to it very regularly, which is good. That aviary is currently costing me nothing either. It will cost me money if I improve the exhibit inside to like raptors or something. And fresh water, of course. So, normally I wouldn't get wild dog because they require a massive exhibit. But they are reasonably popular with guests. It's only really because I've got sort of quite a lot of money and I'm quite profitable, and I thought, you know, I never normally build their exhibit, so it's just nice to build their exhibit, I suppose. Alright, that's already 79 suitability, but they're not obviously happy with that. They do like the thorn bush, but whether or not they'll like it as much as baobabs, I don't know. Without checking my guide. And I am very inaccurate when it comes to putting down these thorn bushes. So even though the zookeeper long ago said that the exhibit was fine, I'm still getting a lot of happy faces for putting down all this foliage, and it's just stopped now. So that's only 88 suitability. But we can keep going with the foliage. But saying that, it's actually only 88 suitability still. Yeah, this doesn't seem to want to increase. If I change one of these over to a baobab, it actually doesn't like it. Let me just check the guide real quick. So, African wild dog, it apparently says to use tall grass. So basically I've made a big mistake here. I'm actually going to reload the save. Whoops. Alright, so I've got to redo the terrain, but it probably would have just been quicker and easier to not reload the save and just delete the trees and replace it with wild grass. But oh well. No big deal. It doesn't exactly take long. Oops. Yeah. going to need to move the exhibit entrance, possibly. Although, as it happens, I think that's probably actually okay. Okay, and then rocks, of course, and then just use tall grass, which is the same thing that I use for like the zebra, the gazelle, the ostrich, the wildebeest. In fact, it's there, right there. It is a bit more expensive than the thorn bush, because it costs 75, not 25, but I think we can afford that, no problem. I'd say they want a lot of foliage, but then again it's such a big exhibit that that's kind of to be expected, I suppose. And there you go, that's 100 suitability. So, yeah, my mistake was to use the thorn bush, not the tall grass. When, you know, okay, the tall grass is slightly more expensive, but it's not an issue. I do need to... Oh, I was going to say I need to reassign this zookeeper to the exhibit, but as it happens, he's actually fine anyway. One thing I regret, actually, is not building this exhibit 1 square further on, because then I'd have 5 squares wide there, which would be good for the insect house. Unless I build it like here, for instance. But then that does actually get in the way of that path, so... can't actually put it down. I can put it down there, but I can't really put it down anywhere else, so... Well, I mean, obviously I can put it, like, you know, over here or something, but... So, this bit of the zoo is a bit of a mess right now. But I can fix that. It's quite hard to see everything because buildings are in the way, and everything's just kind of in the way. I'm thinking that putting that insect house down there might have actually been a bit of a mistake, but oh well. So let's put in... Can't put in a... put a fountain down like that. Can I put something down? I could put another carousel, I suppose, but I don't know how necessary that actually is. I'm not imagining that we're going to get many people going to this insect house. But you never know. We might get a few. Giraffe 1 has given birth. That's nice. Might as well put a duck pond down there. And we can put another fountain down there. Just put a bit of path down like that. We're not getting guests come over here, but our guests are actually coming over here to use the insect house, which is nice. We can build more path over here, and then I can put down brick wall. And get rid of that piece of brick wall, and then we put in zoo map here, here, and here. Put in some zoo signs, or exhibit signs, I should call them, and then some observation areas around here. And there you go, guest happiness 98, animal happiness 98, zoo rating 90. Put in more maps and animal signs, or exhibit signs. And we can also put in more observation areas. And then if I hide everything, then I can put in a bit more scenery around here. And there you go. We're actually getting loads of guests coming over here. Saying that, we do actually have almost 500 guests in the entire zoo. If we actually just hide everything, where are the guests most of all? There's loads of guests coming over here. But to be honest, we kind of have guests sort of all over the place. Which is good. Ooh. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do is just quickly save the game, and then we have actually basically won the scenario, but we still have another 9 months left to go. And rather than just end the video here, I figured, seeing as we're building African Savannah exhibits only anyway, why not continue expanding the zoo and build some more exhibits and see if I can exhibit all of the African Savannah animals in the game. So, first thing I'm going to do is just check that we don't have any like overcrowding going on. I've got a feeling that this is actually more like parent and child rather than these hippos being the same age, but I don't think that actually matters, of course. So these zebra are okay. We've got 1 male and 4 females. The ostrich exhibit is not big enough for the number of ostriches that it currently has. So we've got female, female, male, male, female, female. So let's sell off this female. This one wants a mate, actually. That's something to consider. This one wants a mate, so we can sell that off. Basically, if they want a mate, it means that they don't already have a mate, so if we sell it off, then it's not going to be an issue. So it's a good way of knowing, like, you know, which ones to sell off, because if you sell off somebody that doesn't want a mate, it means they've already got a mate, unless they don't actually mate up like the zebras, where, you know, you can have like 1 male and 3 females. So if they want a mate, it's a good indication to sell it off, because it means that they don't already have a mate. So if you sell it off, you're not going to have another animal complaining that they can't find their own mate. So the giraffes are fine. The lions are okay. Elephants are okay for now. Buffalo is okay for now. Wildebeest is okay. It's just feeling a bit crowded. Leopard, yeah, that needs to be sold off. And then hyena, not enough shelters, but it is actually okay for now. Just hide the aviary. And I think, actually let's put the shelter down like that, because that way the guests can actually still see. They're not just looking into the shelter and their view is blocked, for example. So yeah, the hyena are fine, although we do have some baby hyena, so when they grow up it'll probably be an issue. Flamingo are fine. Wild dog, they want more shelters. Because they gave birth. You can get large shelters, but I feel that they're honestly not actually worth it, because, yes, they're a bit cheaper, but the amount you have to spend on research to get them is not worth it. Like, maybe if you were doing like a freeform zoo. But the thing is that they take up, like, a large shelter would take up the same space as a normal wood shelter plus a small one. But the advantage is that you can put the normal one and the small one basically wherever you want, as long as you've got the space. Whereas the large one, you have to have like a 2x3 space, which you might not always have. So, with regards to researching animal shelters, I personally think that large shelters are not worth it. The only animal shelters that are worth it, and even then it's debatable because obviously it depends what exhibits you're going to build, are the rock cave, the snowy rock cave, and the panda rock cave. But again, you can still get good suitability without those shelters. So, researching shelters, it's not pointless, but I don't think it's entirely worth it. And also, I've just realised I have a bit of an island there. 1 square of dirt, so put that there, and then make that fresh water. And then save the game. Alright, so guest happiness is 98, which I still honestly can't really believe. Especially when you consider we've got 500 guests coming into the zoo. We do have an ill hyena, but hopefully the zookeeper is nearby. There he is. So, like I said, we have loads of money, so we could actually just continue expanding the zoo and try and get all the animals exhibited. Is anybody commenting on my fountains or scenery or anything? I hope that because I've built sort of a bit of hedge around that, it's not sort of negating the effect of the fountain. I hope that the guests can actually still appreciate the fountain and the duck pond, even though it's got a bit of, like, hedge around it. Because if they can't, then that's really stupid. Nobody's actually commenting on the scenery, but that's not to say that they don't actually appreciate it. What about over here? That Sphinx statue is cool. Right, that's good. Look at the duck pond, that's neat. Okay, so, yeah, the guests can still appreciate the duck pond. The fountain's lovely. Right, so yeah, even though I put hedging around it, the guests still appreciate the fountains and the duck ponds and everything. Which is really good to know. Leopard 2's given birth, so obviously when that leopard grows up it'll need to be sold off. Ostrich's given birth, but I'm guessing that's probably fine. Get rid of the message list for now. Yeah. Exhibit's not big enough for the zebra, okay. Well, we can fix that. Just sell off zebra 3. Ostrich, fine. Gazelle, fine. Yeah, I think everything's fine right now. Oh, the exhibit's not big enough. Alright. Exhibit's still not big enough. Yeah. Elephants. Okay. He needs to be sold off, unfortunately. Getting a lot of orbiting guests for some reason. So Birds of Africa is now available for the aviary. Yeah, the hyena's not big enough. Female, female. Just sell those two. Male, female. Oops, male, male, female, female. And then a male and a female baby. Alright, so at the aviary, which is massively popular, we can now put in Birds of Africa. Costs us $150 a month, but I think we can afford that. And it also means that it goes 8.5 instead of 5.3. Raptors of the World is the one you want. I think it costs $200 for upkeep, but it's massively better for guest happiness. The middle one, like, Birds of Africa obviously is good, but for the money, the added bonus is not much, whereas like Raptors is really good. You know, for an extra $50 you get a lot more guest happiness. Yeah, I think, you know, as I said before, rather than just sit this one out, I'm going to continue expanding the zoo. And try and get African savanna animals. So, we currently have 13 exhibits. That is really loud. Okay, we currently have 13 exhibits, all with at least 80 suitability. Probably most of them, if not all of them, have at least 90, to be honest. I think there are 4 African savanna animals that we don't currently have. Namely, baboons, rhino, cheetah, warthog, and that's it. Okay, so if we continue expanding over here, so conveniently that is a 10 square wide bit of land. Delete that and delete that. Put in brick wall like that. And then, if these guests will just stop vomiting for a second. I really don't know why we're getting so many vomiting guests. I can only assume there's like a bit of poo nearby or something, but I'm also beginning to wonder if vomiting guests doesn't actually mean anything at all. Then we've got a 10 by 10 exhibit within which we can place rhinos. And even though rhinos are endangered, they're not actually that popular with guests, but then again, that doesn't seem to have stopped the guests with all my other exhibits that aren't supposed to be very popular, but the guests really seem to like for some reason. Yeah. 31 benefactors. Lovely stuff. Is there just like loads of poo around here or something? There's a lot of poo in this, yeah, there's too much poo. Alright, well, this zookeeper, he's assigned to the flamingo and the wild dog. But he does actually have quite a distance to go, well, not really quite a distance actually. I was wondering if there was a building or something in the way. But there isn't. I'm just wondering if that's too much for him. Because this wild dog exhibit is quite big, and there are 6 wild dogs in there. There are also a lot of flamingos, so maybe he can just do flamingos, and then we have another zookeeper who looks after the rhinos and the wild dog. And if that's too much, then we can just have one zookeeper looking after the wild dog and the then one zookeeper looking after the rhinos. It's a lot of zookeepers, but I think we can afford them. Alright, so Raptors of the World is now available, and that's the one you really want, because for an extra $50 a month you get 2 adult bonus and 10 child bonus. Extra. Alright, so rhinos want umbrella thorn acacia tree. They're also going to want some fresh water. A bit of sand. No, not sand. A bit of dirt. And then some rocks. Not that many rocks. And umbrella thorn acacia trees. Which I'm actually going to hide so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's 99 suitability for the rhinos. That last bit of foliage didn't seem to do anything. So there you go. That's 100 suitability, right. Okay. Would the guests please stop vomiting, please? And I realise I said please twice there, but whatever. Zoo rating is now 91. So we're going to need a zookeeper to look after these. God, why am I getting so many vomiting guests? Like, I can only assume it's because there's too much poo, but where is the poo? So this guy can look after these both. Do we have too many flamingos by any chance? Yeah, the exhibit's not big enough for the number of flamingos, so we can sell some flamingos. Okay, that's a baby. That's a baby. Female, male. Female, female. Male, male, male. Female, female. Male, female. So we'll just sell off these two. And that is now okay. So, how are the dogs looking? They're fine. I think if we level up this terrain around here, then we can probably put down something. Just make that Savannah for now. Actually, whoa, that costs $7,000. Okay, just leveling up the terrain costs $1,750. I think we can put down like. We could put down something though. Venomous spiders is now available for the insect house, so that goes from 5.5 to 8.12. Yeah. For $100 you get an extra 3 adults and 7 child. It's interesting that both of those exhibits, or both of those animal houses, are better for children than they are for adults, but oh well. If I convert this salt water to asphalt, actually, then we can build on that. I mean, we could even put another exhibit of some variety in here. So if we put in brick wall prematurely, oh look at that, it lines up perfectly. It's like it was planned, although it wasn't. So delete this brick wall temporarily, and then that brick wall as well. I don't like this, so there. Then put in some pathing, and then I can put an exhibit down here, but I can also put down the primate house. And can I fit a reptile house in next to it? Yes, well, I kinda can. Something in the way. Is it just a guest or something? Because it let me do it earlier. Yeah. Ooh. It is actually blocking half of that path, which is kind of awkward. Okay, well I don't want to put down the reptile house then. I could put down the nocturnal house, because that's actually small enough. So let's do that. And then put in some more paths. And then that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Ostrich 1 has died of old age. To be fair, I was going to say it lasted a long time, but it actually only lasted about 18 months. So then we can put down lemurs of Madagascar, 10, 15. That is the exact same as the aviary in terms of bonus and upkeep cost. And then ostrich 2 has died of old age. Yeah. Then we can put down some kind of exhibit over here. We still have warthog and cheetah and baboon. If I consult my guide, I can find out that warthog, if I build a 5/10 exhibit, that's enough for 4 warthogs. Cheetahs being very fast, they require 50 squares each, so I could build an exhibit, but I'd only be able to fit 1 cheetah down. Although actually, saying that, I'm saying that's 5 squares wide, but in actuality, it is 13 squares by 5 squares, which is 65. So yeah, I could fit in 1 cheetah in that space, or I could fit in 4 warthog, and I could fit in 4 baboons. Let's go with the warthog. They are actually, well, no, they're not very attractive to guests actually, but they're probably going to poo quite a bit as well. So, but I think they breed a lot as well. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Just actually check. Warthogs can't climb and can't jump, and they've got like minimal strength. So hopefully I can actually just use like very cheap fencing. So I can actually possibly just use this. And oh, actually, I've just realised I was going to make that only 50 squares. So yeah, I've built this too big, basically. Alright, not a problem. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 5. And then that's big enough for, I think I said 4 warthogs? Yeah. Alright. So, how are we for zookeepers? So this guy, oh, I need to rename this to Rhino Exhibit. And then that needs to be Warthog Exhibit. I need to... Okay, we're getting people going to the animal houses, which is really good. And we have actually researched all the animal houses anyway, so we can cancel that out. Save the game. Right. So yeah, this zookeeper's going to have quite a lot on his hands, dealing with all the rhino poo. And the wild dogs themselves. Although the wild dogs might not poo that much, I imagine that the rhinos will probably poo quite a lot. So with this extra bit of land. We can't put down a building. I mean, you know, I technically could fit a prairie cafe over here, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is put in a fountain, and then put down a Sphinx statue and a snake pit, and then surround all that with low hedge. Alright. Perfect. Let's put in some more exhibit signs. Whoops. Not elephant statues. And then we can put in some more exhibit signs over here. Whoops. Oh no, I was correct. Alright. Yep, and map, and then observation areas. So, map, map, map. Get out of the way. There we go. Map. Once I've built this exhibit, I will check for, you know, overcrowding in exhibits and also dead animals that died of old age. So, like I said, we can put down 4 warthogs. I'm actually prematurely going to put down a load of dirt because I know that warthogs want a lot of dirt in their exhibit. And they want thorn bush, which is nice and convenient for me. Probably want... Oh, they want the burrow, don't they? Alright. Yeah, they basically want a bit of savannah, mostly dirt, and then a bit of sand and a bit of fresh water. So they are African savannah animals, but they're mostly dirt, really. Common wildebeest can't find any food, well then the zookeeper needs to feed the wildebeest. And then thorn bush. That is 98 suitability. That's actually brought it down to 97, so... That's back up to 98 suitability. Right! That suits me fine. We are going to need a zookeeper for the... Actually, the zookeeper that looks after the leopard can probably just look after both of these exhibits. So, who's looking after the leopards? He's looking after the leopards and the wildebeest. Right, well, tell you what. You can now look after the leopards and the warthog. And then, this guy, who's currently unassigned, he can actually basically be sacked. He's not actually needed, because then, the guy that was looking after just the elephants can also look after the wildebeest. And if I hide everything, then move these, just make sure that you can actually get into the exhibits. That's fine. And then that way I have 7 or 8 zookeepers? Hold up. Ah, because I only have one guy just looking after the flamingos. How many exhibits do I actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, so... we still need to build the cheetah and the baboons. This primate house is really popular. And to be fair, the nocturnal house is also really popular. All the animal houses are really popular, which is good. One thing I can do is, whoops, put down some of this low hedge fencing. And I've not forgotten, I will check the exhibits in a second. I think I've actually messed that up slightly. Oh no, it's okay because that's the limit of the zoo anyway. Right. So, just save the game quickly. Check the exhibits and make sure there's no like overcrowding going on. So zebra are fine, ostrich are fine. There's only 2 gazelles, wow. Okay, they must have died without breeding. We've got 2 female gazelles, so why don't we get 2 male, or rather, 1 male, and then 1 female. Because gazelles, like I say, they're like zebras, they don't really mate up, it's just like 1 male can look after 3 females, no problem. And they're all happy with that. Giraffe, fine. Lion, fine. Elephant, fine. Buffalo, fine. Wildebeest, exhibit not big enough. Alright. So we've got a female, a male, a male, a male, and a male. Now I don't know if these actually do mate up, so I'm just going to sell off that male. Wait. What? Hold on. Female, female, male, male, male. Right, okay. That's fine. Okay. Leopard is fine. I'm actually going to get another maintenance worker because these new exhibits... we've got more exhibits, so... you know... that's more for the maintenance workers to do, so we can get another one to alleviate the pressure. Right, we've got a male, a female, female, a male, a female, and then 2 babies. So we can sell off... let's sell off hyena 1 and hyena 2, or hyena 3. That seems fine. And then flamingos, so it's not big enough, great. So male, male, female, female, male, female. So let's sell off this male and this female. And then wild dogs, exhibit's not big enough. Okay. Wow, these guys bred a lot, didn't they? Alright, well we've got a male, female, female, male, male, God, this is confusing. Huh. Right, that should be fine. And then rhino is fine. Warthog. They've already bred a lot. It seems to be about 6... yeah, 6 baby warthog. Jesus. I only built their exhibit, like, about 10 minutes ago. And now we've got like 10 warthogs. I think large burrow is actually the same size as burrow, so large burrow could well be worth getting if you've got time and money. Speaking of which, we have 3.5 months left. Let's get another maintenance worker. So, yeah, zoo rating 91, animal happiness 97, animal happiness 98, guest happiness 98. Yeah, for an advanced scenario, this is actually a really easy scenario if you know what you're doing. You know, don't think that you can start with those starter exhibits and then try and build a successful zoo that way, because A, they're probably the wrong size, and B, they were miles away anyway. That food for the giraffe is still there. It's been there for like 18 months. Also, obviously, deleting the starter trees raises the money that you actually start with by a lot. I'm just going to pause the game temporarily, save the game. One thing I do want to look at, these zookeepers. So we've got 15 exhibits, 16 zookeepers. So this zookeeper... Actually, I might as well pause the game. Hippo and zebra, that's fine. Ostrich and gazelle, that's fine. Giraffe, lion, that's fine. Elephant and wildebeest, that is fine. Buffalo and hyena, that's fine. Leopard and warthog, that's fine. He's only looking after the flamingo. Because he was looking after the flamingo and the wild dog. And I'm wondering if I should reassign him to flamingo and wild dog. Because the guy that's looking after the wild dog has also got to look after the rhino, and I'm wondering if that's too much for him. But anyway, we've got one. I was going to say we've got one hungry guest, but actually just alleviated their own hunger. With 577 guests and 39 benefactors, that is really good. So if we want to build every single exhibit for African Savannah, which is basically our goal at this point, yeah, we're going to need cheetahs and baboons, which is going to need one final zookeeper. I'm also going to level up this terrain. African Warthog 9 is ill, so he needs to be healed. Whoa, not like that. Okay, that's plenty big enough. We're not going to expand out this way, so we can build a bit of brick wall over here. But what we can do is put some maps down, and then observation areas. If I hide those trees, then I can see what I'm doing better. Okay, there you go. And then there you go. And then I can put down the low fencing. Hold up. Can't actually put it exactly where I want it because the And the nocturnal house is a bit of a weird shape and size. Well, not shape, but it's a bit of a weird size. If I hide this stuff, then I can put... I can actually put the low hedge fencing around the primate house. Just makes it look a bit more attractive to guests. Not that it really needs to be any more attractive, because it's getting plenty of usage anyway. Hold up, did that wrong. I can't actually really see the entrance anymore, but there you go. And then put down these observation areas back. There we go. And then... Brilliant. Right. We also need to put down the reptile house, so we could actually just put that down, like, hold up. I'm going to need to destroy a lot of this brick wall. I wish there was a way to destroy it without destroying the path, but I guess we just put the path... Whoops. Just put the path back down. And then put a path down like that. We're going to need a 10x10 exhibit for 2 cheetah. And for the baboon, if we want 4 baboon, then we can build a 6x10 exhibit. Or 9x10 if I want 6 baboon. But let's do cheetah first. So cheetah... Cheetah amazingly can just be held by this fence. Right. So let's get a cheetah exhibit going. Which needs to be 10x10. Yeah, cheetahs need... It does say in the description of the animal something to the effect of cheetahs need a bigger exhibit because they run really fast. Which does kind of make sense, I suppose. Like, if a cheetah does a lot of running around, then it's going to need a bigger exhibit, I suppose. That's the logic, at least. Right. So, prematurely put in zoo maps, observation centres, and exhibit signs. Whoops, wrong one. There are a lot of zoo maps around here. If a guest gets lost with this many maps, then that's their own fault, because I've put in way more than necessary maps. Right, so the final zookeeper, hopefully, save the game. So we can get cheetahs. Unfortunately, the cheetahs don't require the cat climbing tree, or any toys for that matter. This zookeeper that's wandering off needs to be reassigned to this cheetah exhibit. So cheetahs, I don't know what they want, but I'm going to find out. They want a bit of dirt. No sand. Do they want rainforest? No. Leopard wanted rainforest, but the cheetah doesn't. They don't want any fresh water. Is that it? Just sand and... It's too much sand. Oh, I didn't see that. Alright. Yeah, just a bit of dirt and a bit of savannah. That's fine. dead easy. Thorn bush and rocks, so they're pretty cheap to build. And exhibit 4. But since thorn bush is like $20 each, that's basically like the cheapest foliage. And already that is 91 suitability. That last bit of foliage is actually unnecessary. Okay, that's 100 suitability. That was easy. And then finally, we're actually at zoo rating 92 now. Got a lot of hungry animals for some reason. Zookeepers not doing their jobs, or just animals can't find so sell off this hippo. Actually, the fact that these were both called Hippo 1, these must be the original hippos. Because I had one originally, which was presumably a male, and then this female I adopted. Once again, the exhibit's not big enough. I've actually got 2 males now, so we can sell that off. And then we've got 1 male and 3 female. Ostrich, fine. Gazelle, fine. Giraffe, he needs to be sold off. Those are the original giraffes. Lions, fine. Elephants, fine. Buffalo, fine. I find it a bit odd that these buffalo aren't breeding, and I'm also wondering what the hell happened to African buffalo 2? Unless I adopted a buffalo and then got rid of it, and then got a different one instead, because I might have done like the wrong gender buffalo by accident. Alright, that leopard definitely needs to be sold off. The leopards are still reasonably happy. Hyena exhibit's not big enough. Great. I don't know what happened to Hyena 1, but it seems to have disappeared. Male, female, male, female, female, female. Right, well let's sell off this one. And this one, I suppose. And then we have a male, a female, a male, a female. So flamingos, fine. Wild dogs, fine. Rhino is fine for now. Warthogs, who keep breeding, and there's way too many animals in the exhibit, and they're just getting unhappy because they're breeding too much. I don't know what the hell's going on with these warthogs. Probably going to get people or warthogs complaining that they can't find a mate. But there's just too many frickin' warthogs. The fact that they're not getting any complaining about mating makes me think that it's probably actually okay. More shelters than necessary. Okay, so we've got a baby male, baby female, a baby female, a female, a male, and a female. Right, so basically we've got 1 adult male, 2 adult female, and then the rest of them are babies, so that's okay. Exhibit 17 is the cheetah exhibit. I don't think that's actually my 17th exhibit though. I'm just going to check. 1, 2, 3... Oops, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, it's actually more like exhibit 16. Zebra 5 has died of old age. These... Whoops. These zebra do not last a long time, it feels like. Oh. Okay, so now we need a male zebra. Yeah, that's something to bear in mind as well, is that we need to make sure that we actually have, like, not just the correct number of animals, but like the correct gender, because we want, you know, the correct number of male compared to female. Because if you have like all of one gender, then they're not going to reproduce. Which can be fine, if that's what you want. But if you want reproducing animals, then you need to watch the genders. So even though this male has 3 females, he's not... Oh. Why is it saying the exhibit's not big enough? Huh, okay. We'll sell off Buffalo 3, because that's probably the oldest. Ostrich 1 has died of old age. Okay. Right. So the only thing left to do now is build a baboon exhibit. If we build 4 baboons, then that is 6 by 10. Which leaves us enough space to put in a reptile house, possibly, hopefully. So let's build a 6 by 10 exhibit for some baboons. Baboons jump and climb, but they don't have any strength. So basically we can use the weakest fencing that animals can't jump or climb out of. Which might end up actually just being the plexiglass. Anyway, it's looking like that. Yeah, plexiglass is the cheapest fencing that animals can neither climb nor jump out of. That is unfortunately 9. So I'm going to have to do it like 6 by 10 that way, which does mean that unfortunately we're not going to have enough room for the animal house. Unless I build the exhibit in quite a sort of strange shape, or I only have 3 baboon, and then I can get away with 45 squares. But failing that, if we just built the reptile house right now, then surely we've got enough room for the baboon exhibit. Let's go with the time-honoured trick of using the asphalt to check how many squares this is. It needs to be at least 60. Unfortunately, it's only 57. So, what I can do is make, or get rid of this particular bit of path, and then we've actually got 6 by 9 plus another 6. So yeah, bit of a weird shape exhibit, but it works. And then if I put the entrance over there for now temporarily, then the guy that looks after the cheetah can also look after the baboons, as was the plan. Okay, so Oops, just saved the game. So yeah, once we put in these 4 baboons, that is, we've got 1 month left, and therefore we've, you know, we've actually done the optional objective of actually exhibiting all 17 Savannah species. Whoops. It's actually ended up with basically the right amount of time for the scenario, given that I've also added in these completely unnecessary optional objective of exhibit only African savanna animals and exhibit every African savanna animal. With regards to foliage, they want baobabs, but according to the guide, can I use something other than baobabs? Yeah, I can just use thorn bushes. Right. Okay. We've got 1 hungry leopard, and that's the only animal that is hungry in the zoo. Obviously these baboons are probably not very happy right now, but we can fix that. So that is 95 suitability. He's actually saying that they want more foliage, which means that they actually genuinely do want more foliage. So that's 98 suitability. He's now saying it's fine. 99 suitability. There you go, 100 suitability for the baboon. And change that over. So for $120 you can get an extra 5 and 7, which is actually pretty damn good. So in terms of bonuses and upkeep cost, the Nocturnal House is the same bonus as the Reptile House, but costs $30 more. The Primate House and the Aviary provide the same bonus for the same upkeep, and the Insect House is the cheapest, but also provides the lowest bonus. Although, it's only $20 less than the Reptile House, and you only get 2 adult bonus less. Right, well, we've still got half a month left, which is no time at all, really. I can just finish making the zoo look pretty, I suppose. Currently have 92 zoo rating, 98 happiness, 98 happiness. Yeah, let's just finish a bit of scenery. I don't know if it's these brick walls that are making the guests so happy, but 98 guest happiness with no problematic guests and 632 guests, 44 benefactors, that's, for me, like, obscenely ridiculous. That is, like, unheard of. I never put anything down there, so we can put in let's just put in a snake pit and a sphinx, and then put in another sphinx over there. Put in a bit of path, something around here. Yeah, that'll do. And then put in, we've only got like 10 days left anyway. Somebody died of old age. A Gazelle 7 died of old age. So... I've actually got 2 males. So we can sell that one. Get a male, a female, and might as well just get 2 females, I suppose. That's fine. Alright, it's Christmas Day. That means we've got 1 week left to go. Gazelle, giraffe, lions. These giraffes have actually managed to last the entire length of the scenario, which is good. Wildebeest. Exhibit's not big enough. Just sell off this female, I suppose. That's fine. Leopards. That's fine. Hyena, that's fine. Flamingo. Exhibit's not big enough. Sell off this flamingo. And this flamingo. That's fine. Flamingos don't seem to care about mating pairs. Rhino. Oh, he needs to be sold off. That's fine. Warthog. They're probably... Oh no, they're actually okay. Cheetah. They're fine. Exhibit 18 is not Exhibit 18, it is Baboon Exhibit. Alright. And on that note, it's December 30th. We never actually assigned a zookeeper to these baboons, so they're probably quite hungry. That's alright. Save the game real quick. Yeah, so basically, that is the zoo finished, right on the deadline of 24 months. Really, I beat the scenario after, you know, like April, year 2 or something. I mean, after part 1 of this video, the scenario was basically won anyway. All I had to do was just build up this wild dog exhibit. But, yeah, 97 guest happiness, 98 animal happiness, 92 zoo rating. And this is the entire zoo in its entirety. The entire zoo in its entirety. Yeah, that makes sense. With $49 admission price, 649 guests, and climbing, 44 benefactors, and hopefully climbing. Profit is difficult to calculate, but if you ignore construction and animal costs, recycling benefits a bit confusing because, you know, we've probably sold off some animals, but then we also do that like quite often, so just ignore that for now. Yeah, long story short, we're probably making like about $13,000–14,000 a month. Yeah, this it's a very sort of, you know, as you would expect, it's a very sort of yellow zoo with all the savannah, but there are patches of dirt and sand, lots of fresh water, bit of variety in foliage, but again it's a lot of umbrella thorn trees, a lot of tall grass, a lot of thorn bush. In fact, actually, I think, yeah, we only actually have 3 different types of foliage, 4 if you include the water reed. No baobabs. They're too expensive and they're not needed. But we actually ended up with all 5 animal houses, and they're all getting lots of usage out of them, which is nice. You can say that the animal houses are completely unnecessary. Personally, I like them. Also, no tour guides. 9 zookeepers for 17 exhibits, 6 maintenance workers to repair the fencing for those 17 exhibits. Probably do actually want more maintenance workers, but the fact that we've got, like, well, basically no fencing problems other than these wild dogs at present. You know, we're not going to get any escaped animals. So, yeah. And we've actually ended up with 62 animals in total. So yeah, this might be like one of the best zoos I've ever built, simply because the guest happiness is so high. And there you go, we've won. After Island Zoo, which I implore you check out, even though Island Zoo was like the first of the advanced scenarios and this is the second one, this honestly was super easy and super nice. Really, this honestly feels more like an intermediate scenario than an advanced scenario. There was nothing particularly challenging about this scenario, you know. I actually kind of made it potentially artificially more difficult by only using Savannah animals. But on the other hand, it did mean that the exhibits were probably a lot cheaper than they otherwise would have been because I didn't have to convert all the terrain over to, say, like rainforest or grass or coniferous or deciduous, because obviously it was mostly Savannah anyway. And, you know, there's not actually a lot of variety in Savannah animals. They want a bit of Savannah, bit of dirt, bit of sand, bit of fresh water. And in the leopard's case, a bit of rainforest. In some combination of that, you know. So, it's not difficult to exhibit them. It's just clocked over to January 1st, year 3. And, yeah. Honestly, super duper proud of this zoo. And the thing is, as well, is that not that I'm going to expand the zoo, but the way that the brick wall works, it actually sort of, you know, acts as a actual boundary for the zoo, and it basically tells guests, do not wander beyond this line, because there's nothing there. You know, it is a literal brick wall. And the thing is actually, if you look at the zoo map, we've still got plenty of zoo map left to play with, so the zoo map is actually plenty big enough. It's just that all this is like, you know, a bit of a ditch, and then obviously you've got this giant lake here. I have had to do a bit of flattening of the terrain, but nothing major, as you've seen. So really, I'd advise, if you're going to build your zoo up in the scenario, which obviously you have to, build basically to the right of the zoo entrance as you look at it like this, because there's plenty of flat land over here with which to build your zoo. You do have plenty of land. I mean, I've managed to fit 17 exhibits in, and you only need 13. Anyway, I suppose that's it, really. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and the previous video and all my other Zoo Tycoon scenario videos. If you have, leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. And I will see you in the next scenario, which will be the third of the Zoo Tycoon advanced scenarios, which is called Mountain Zoo. And I remember it more so than this scenario, because this scenario I didn't remember at all going into it, so I was basically doing it completely blind. I don't remember how difficult it is. I don't think it's going to be like tremendously difficult. But I could be proven wrong. It could actually be a massive problem and prove to be very difficult. Or on the other hand, it could be like this scenario and be quite nice and relaxing and quite easy. But essentially the theme of Mountain Zoo, as the name implies, is that you get probably a reasonable size map. I don't know if it's huge or not very big at all. And you've got to build lots of exhibits with reasonably happy animals. I think there's like, you know, zoo rating, animal happiness, guest happiness goals that are probably fairly manageable. But as the name implies, whilst you can build whatever animal exhibits you want, you know, you're free to adopt any animals you want. You aren't given any animals at the start, unlike this scenario. And, yeah, as the name implies, Mountain Zoo, the map is set in the same way that this is set in, like, the Savannah of Kenya. The map is set in the mountains of Colorado and the Rocky Mountains, and, yeah, the map is basically just a load of hills and mountains and, like, dirt, brownstone, probably a few trees, that sort of thing. So it basically recommends you use animals like the bighorn sheep, mountain lion, highland animals that like lots of hills, But anyway, that's all to look forward to in the next video. So if you're looking forward to that, then yeah, that video will be up sometime in the hopefully near future. Because obviously I've not done it yet, so I've not recorded it yet. So, you know, I've got no idea like when it'll be up if I've not recorded it yet. Anyway, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the mountain zoo scenario. This is the end of African Savannah Zoo. Take care, folks. Have a nice day. I'll see you in that video, or my next video, or whatever video you want to watch. And that concludes African Savannah Zoo. So, bye-bye.